Boxing fans are about to witness one of the sport's strangest matchups. A YouTuber versus a former heavyweight champion. How did this happen? And more importantly, why?
From a very simplistic answer, Sam, it's money. And that's what boxing's always been about. If it makes money, it makes sense.
This is Game Theory, where sport is more than just a game. Jake Paul has more than 17 million followers across all social media platforms. He's also still new to boxing, making his debut in 2018. And on December the 19th, he'll be stepping into the ring in Miami to take on one of the biggest names in modern boxing, former unified heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua. Now, for the boxing purists, this fight is the latest sign that the sport is changing, and not in a good way, because to some critics, this match feels less like sport and more like entertainment. So how did we get here? Well, this isn't Jake Paul's first rodeo. He's already fought UFC champions, MMA stars, and even Mike Tyson. For the record, he beat Tyson on points. And while he's one of the most divisive figures in boxing, there's no denying Jake Paul's changing the business of the sport. Boxing commentator and broadcaster Ade Oladipo breaks down one of the most talked about fights of the year.
Jake Paul is almost catapulted himself into the boxing world and provided money. Everyone seems to be invested in a Jake Paul fight. His fights do well, not just for DAZN, but for Netflix. And everyone's like, okay, we need to kind of jump on board this train. And for those that were like very against it early, I think they've realized that Jake Paul makes a lot of money for broadcasters. He makes a lot of money for promoters, but most importantly, it makes a lot more money for fighters.
Jake Paul's 2024 fight with Tyson was the first major live professional bout to stream globally on Netflix. More than 100 million people tuned in to the live event, making it the most live-streamed boxing event in history. And it was lucrative. $18 million in ticket sales and more than $40 million for Jake Paul just for showing up in the ring, as well as a cut of Netflix's global deal, promotion and sponsorship money. So with those kinds of numbers for a YouTuber, what does that mean for boxers and the sport?
I think you can still almost separate the two. If I'm a boxer, I still concentrate on my main craft. And if I get the call from a Jake Paul or a YouTuber, I take that and I look at it as bonus. Ultimately, if I'm a real boxer, I try and learn from what Jake Paul's doing, get my social media presence up, learn how to kind of relate to boxing fans who don't see me more than once a year. I think Jake Paul's almost come in and taught real boxers, this is what you need to do to market yourself a bit more. So if I'm a real boxer, yes, I will be a bit upset at how Jake Paul's come in and just stolen work from me, if you like. Also, I'm thinking, okay, how do I follow what Jake Paul's doing and make my own brand as big as Jake Paul so I become the biggest commodity in the sport?
So yes, this fight in Miami goes ahead because as much as it's about belts, boxing has always been and always will be a business.